cellophane off the box and just ran. Pointless unboxing, pointless unboxing. Pointless unboxing, pointless unboxing. Bye.
Hello, welcome. Hey, there's no Blu-ray. What's going on? I just want a couple of seconds of your time to ask you if you'd please subscribe. I know a lot of people watch my videos and that's very much appreciated. I'd really like a few more people to actually subscribe. Maybe tell a friend about the channel and help me out a little bit. I've got a very small channel. I don't really make any money or anything. But hey, maybe if enough of you subscribe and tell other people, I can get my videos monetized by YouTube. You never know, and it would really help me out. And you see these little guys, maybe every once in a while, if you like a video, give me a little thumbs up. And if you really like my stuff, maybe go over to Spotify and check out my podcast, which is called Pointless Podcasting. And I do some other stuff on there, comedy sort of stuff, and talk about films and videos and games and anything I can shake my nerdy stick at, really. Anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Please subscribe. Only costs you a couple of seconds. It don't cost you any money, and I'd really appreciate it. Now, from me to him, bye. Hello, it's Chopper. Now, this really is special to me. It's in my top 3 films of all time. Depending on what day you ask me, it might be number 1. And this is phenomenal. I personally consider this to be the most fascinating and compelling character study ever put to film. It is so good, insightful, and mesmerizing. Eric Bana's performance in this is phenomenal. Little bit of background. The guy, Chopper himself, Mark Chopper Reed, as he's known, was as it says there, he was an infamous celebrated criminal figure. He was mainly known for knocking off other criminals like drug dealers and the such, and also got himself into some ridiculous capers. Some of the things that he said, they were never sure he'd actually committed the crimes or not, because he was a very good storyteller, and some of the stuff, he put me in prison a lot, and he was in and out of prison his whole life. But he was just a magnetic person. He's a very big personality. He went on to write books from prison that became bestsellers, and then a comedian, one of Australia's biggest stand-up comedians and sketch show guys at the time, been in a few things here and there, he was offered this role, to which he followed Mark around, spent some time with him, learnt his mannerisms, learnt the way he spoke, learnt the way he acted, in an amazing way, which should have earned him rewards. This film should have got way more coverage and way more laudable comments and criticism, I think, than it did when it came out. I think it was a lot to do with the marketing at the time. They were trying to, because Quentin Tarantino was popular at the time, they were trying to say, oh, it's like Reservoir Dogs meets whatever was popular, and people saw it and went, no, it's not something like that. What it is an amazing bit of character acting, on the, the sort of likes of what Tom Hardy's sort of known for doing now with films like Bronson and The Craze, which I think pale into comparison to this. I'm going on way too much about it. One other thing I would say is that there is the most quotable lines in this film ever. I mean, it's almost entirely the whole film is quotable. So much so that me and one of my very close friends, shout out to Benny, used to quote it all the time to ad nauseum, to the point of oblivion, where we would just spend entire conversations quoting parts of this film because it's so well written. And watch it if you've not seen it, but be aware, it is dark. Here's a lot of violence and drugs and yeah, it's dark, but it's so good and it's so funny as well. But yeah, it just doesn't get the love it should have done. I'm so happy that finally we get this. We actually thank you, Second Sight, for finally giving it the love it deserves. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm very excited about this. Obviously, you can tell I don't normally talk this much before I've even opened it, so I'm sorry. Anyone else, they could just skip forward, I suppose. But there you go. Watch Chopper. Give it some love. In the way of special features, we have the Rigid Slipcase, which is a nice little box provided by Second Sight. A 70-page book, which I will read this time. I read his original book when it came out, which is a very interesting read. A lot of it, I was like, is that true or is it not? I don't know, but it was interesting. 70-page book with new essays by Thomas Caldwell, Sally Christie, Carice Howard, Jonah McIntyre, 6 collectible art cards. Also, we have the Restoration 2K graded scan, new audio commentary by Alexandra Helenicolas and Josh Nelson, audio commentary with director Andrew Dominic, audio commentary with the man himself, which is really, really insightful and interesting to watch. I highly recommend, if you watch the film, to watch it with Mark's commentary, because it's so interesting to see what he leaves in and what he leaves out. Stand-up comedy and violence, a new interview with Andrew Dominic, Not Your Typical Film Composer, a new interview with composer Mick Harvey. A Tale of Two Halves, a new interview with editor Ken Sallows. Weekend with Chopper, that's interesting as well. Chopper behind the scenes. Deleted scenes of optional director's commentary. Nothing there with Eric Bana, which is a shame, because I would have liked to see him come back and talk about the film in a retrospective way, but hey, you can't have it all. I'm just happy we finally got this release. Let's have a look inside, shall we? It's going to be Region B, I imagine, so that will be the European, not the Americas. But if you've got a Region 3 Blu-ray player, you'll be okay. If not, you'll have to get one. You'll have to. You just have to get one, because it's not Region 3 and you have to see this film. Okay, lovely artwork on the front, love that. That was the cover, the original cover in one of his books. I don't know if it was the cover or just one of the photographs, but that's taken from a real photograph that Eric Bana recreated. Bojangles. You know what bloody Bojangles is, mate? You know a bit about that, don't you, Jimmy? Alright, I'm going to do the rest of the unboxing now in my silly voice. So we've got some cards. Lovely. We'll have a bit of violence. Guns. Who doesn't like a gun? But problem is, you don't want to go out with a gun on your waist, because people be bloody looking at you. I've already got enough trouble people bloody looking at me. I can't go for a bloody meal. People looking at my ears. He at one point cut his ears off just to get out of a certain section of prison because he had a hit out on him. And he was worried for his life. So he knew if he cut his ears off, they'd think he was mental and put him in a psych ward that will protect him and keep him alive a little bit longer. This is true. This stuff is true. This guy is quite remarkable. Here we go. Here's the book. I don't want to look at it because I don't want to spoil it. But I'll quickly skip through. The transformation as well. I mean, people talk about transformations with Christian Bale, who I absolutely love as well. But he also, I mean, you can tell there from that picture, couldn't help but look, that's when he was in prison. You can see the kind of size he is there. And when he gets out and he puts the weight on, there's a complete transformation. I mean, not as intense as Christian Bale, but yeah, pretty damn phenomenal. It's one of those acting performances that I think is overlooked. Personally, I think it's, yeah, phenomenal. Well worth watching. I couldn't really big it up anymore. There you go. And then we've got the Blu-ray itself. Oh, that's also wrapped. Alright, mate, let's get the old knife out. Careful. It's a bit early for Kung Fu, ain't it? Right. Let's get this thing open, shall we? Cheers, big ears. If you think I'm having a mental break, you'll understand once you've seen the film. Same stuff there on the back that's on the front. And just a black on there. I don't know if it's got a reversible. No, it hasn't got a reversible. And there you go. Go and watch Chopper. Go and watch it right now, mate. Bye.